Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the United States of America. Um, excuse me. Ooh, it's afternoon. Oh, it's afternoon. Oops, good afternoon. Sorry. Um, I sound better today. That's good. I'm still congested a little bit. Like, still got, that whole. What did that do? Why did I go there? I wasn't trying to go there. Oh, bother. Um, Yeah. Can I start over? Good afternoon. Happy Thanksgiving to anybody in the United States of America. Um, and I have been coloring in Kaleidomorphia kind of like really, well, I guess not obsessively, but I just have been. Just, I don't know. I just seem to be connected to this book suddenly. Kind of like how it happened with me with Hannah Carlson. Although I had Kirby Rosanna's books way before I had a Hannah Carlson book, and I didn't know what to do with the Kirby books, and suddenly it seems to be hitting me that how to color in these, which is a good thing. So I started this yesterday, and I think I started it late yesterday because I took like 2 naps yesterday. I was really, really, really tired. Um, and so I started this last night, and I started with the shell. I actually started with Derwent pencils because Derwent Chromaflow pencils because that happened to be what I had out, and so I just started using them because they were there. And then, um, so the color that's on this, there's like this pretty kind of orangey color, orangey yellow brown color. That I don't know. I might need to get that pencil out again to just kind of do some spots on here and see if it will stick. But I decided when I looked at the image, I thought, you know what? I need to use Prismacolors for this, and so I switched to the Prismacolors. Because of how this was, it reminded me of like how the snake is on the snake page, how the snakes are. And I thought, I need to use Prismacolors for this, for the blending and all that. Got my water bottle. Thank you, Foxy. um, I love this water bottle. I've been having a problem drinking water from my Brita bottles that I really like, and since I've had braces, and this water bottle actually is really easy for me to drink out of, and it encourages me to get back to my way of my practice of drinking water. So it's pretty cool. I'm glad I have it. Oops, something dropped. Yes, my desk is still a mess, but there's a whole lot going on in this house. The old tub is out of the bathroom, and so now my husband has to put in the drywall that he had to cut out because it had mold on it. Gasoline, get rid of that because I don't think I'm using that. And what else? He's got to replace the drywall that he cut out, and I don't know. He may have to replace some of the wood. I don't know if he's going to do it or not. I'd like him to, um, because of the potential for it actually having some mold in it. Personally, I would replace it, but I don't know how to do that. So um, I'm hoping that he will replace it. Anyway, so yeah, so I don't know what's next in there. He's got that spot like all cleaned out, and he's got to replace the drywall. I don't know if that has to go in before the tub or after. And I don't know if he's going to need help bringing the tub up, but he got the tub down without me. I don't know. So, um, I'm not really in a very coordinated space right now, so my help might not be good help. I really do like doing physical things around the house, but with having COVID and all that, I don't, I don't think I should be doing that. Um, it might hurt both of us. Anyway, so that's a little bit of that story. I had to take a shower. I've had to take a shower downstairs in the new bathroom downstairs. That's been kind of interesting. I'm gonna leave it at that. Makes me. Some days I just wish I could. I don't know. Some days I wish I could level this house down to the foundation and keep our sunroom, which is the newest room in the house. Keep the sunroom, which isn't built on the foundation, and put in a new foundation and then build back up again. That's like what I dream up in my head that I wish I could do. But there's another way because I kind of want to preserve the house and the structure of the house because they don't make houses like they used to. And the basic structure of the house is actually really good and sturdy. And I would like to somehow keep that, but then gut it. Like, yeah, when I say anything like that, I can't say anything like that to my husband because he'll freak out. So I just keep it to myself. And now you know, but don't tell him because he'll freak out. No, you can tell him if you want, but I don't care if he freaks out, but for his health and wellness, I don't want to, it's just an idea in my head. And it can stay an idea in my head until or unless he catches the vision too. So, anyway, blah, blah, blah. I haven't eaten yet today. I have been drinking. I drank some matcha this morning that was left over from last night. And I now have some coffee that has some Laird's creamer, Laird. Excuse me. And it's like this creamer that has like, I don't know, all kinds of like I don't know, healthy stuff in it. I have to look it up to like be able to say exactly what it is. I looked it up when I first started buying it, and then they have a bunch. But they have a pumpkin spice one, and so that's what I have in my coffee. But yeah. So I just started working on this page, and I like it like the other ones. I just started feeling it and kept going. And like what I'm doing right now, I didn't even intend to do this. What I'm doing right now, but it's just feeling like it needs it. So I picked up the pencil and started doing it. That's what this Kirby book has been, how it's been happening with me. I pick up a pencil, I just start doing it. It's like I'm feeling it. After having these books for so long and not really, you know, being really, having an aversion to them, being afraid of them, suddenly I am feeling them. So I feel like I need to skip to the part where, on my video, like edit it to the part where I actually start like coloring, talking about coloring. It's like too much blah, blah, blah. My apologies. I still feel loopy in the head. But praying about that just because there's a lot of work I had to do and I didn't do it because I wasn't here. It was really weird. So I'm going to color a little bit before I actually start cooking. There really isn't that much to do because I'm cooking that bone-in rib roast. And basically, the longest it's going to take is probably like 30 minutes. So, for the cooking part, and after that, you let it rest. So, I'm cooking the rib roast. I'm going to bake potatoes. So they're just going to go in the oven, and I got to figure out what time to go in the oven compared to the roast, because the roast has to be in the oven for like well, the oven has to be preheated to 500 degrees. So, and then the roast has to cook in there for 15 minutes at 500 degrees. And then after that, it gets turned down to 325, and it stays in there for like maybe at the most another 15 minutes. And then it has to rest. And like when you let it rest, it's still cooking. So I have to figure out in that process when to put the potatoes in. And I'm thinking of roasting two or three small butternut squash that we have that somebody gave us. Um, and I know those take a little bit of time. And I kind of don't want to do them before. I don't want to do the squash before. And I don't want to do the potatoes before because I want them to be hot when we eat. I want them to be the last thing to come out or whatever. So I'm kind of thinking about the timing of that when I should put those in. Kind of pondering it a little bit. I'm thinking we're not going to eat until like, I don't know, 4 or 5. That's what I'm aiming for. I don't really want to eat early. If we were having company or something like that, I definitely would make it early. I would make it more like 3 o'clock. But we're not, so that's going to make it late. Or just kind of do it at ease. But I also am thinking that I was thinking about making a squash custard, but I don't think I feel like all that work. And we have butternut squash that's in the fridge, but I want to use the ones that actually were given to us so I can like use them up. So I'm just going really low key for Thanksgiving. No fuss, no muss. Because there's just so much going on in our house right now. With putting in the new shower and tub and all that. And us both, getting over COVID. I don't really feel like doing too much. Me using the new bathroom downstairs for the first time. It's new to me because we've had it for 2 years now, but I just haven't used it before. Because to me, it's a guest bathroom. But my husband, it's also like my husband. We put it in like really quickly. Because he had to have hip surgery, and so he wouldn't be able to do the stairs. And so, there are other ways we could have, managed him with, post surgery, but, taking a, I don't know why you said word. I was going to say something. I'm going to try and keep this PG. Taking a sponge bath or whatever, but, I'd wanted a bathroom downstairs for the longest, so it was just, it seemed he really wanted to have a shower downstairs, so he put that in before his hip surgery. But it was like me, I'm like a planner, he's not, and so it went in quickly. And so taking a shower today, even I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but taking a shower today, and the other day, first I had to figure out how it worked, which was like, huh? And it has like a really huge shower head and a little one, a little hose shower head that attaches. That's really cool. It like magnetically just sticks up there. Well, it's a good thing it has that because the shower head, the big one, which like I was looking so forward to having, it the way it's in there, it's not good for short people. It hits my face. That's where it hits. No matter how I try and turn it, it hits my face. It doesn't hit my body. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything to him about it unless he asks. But I can use the smaller thing on it. But then to me, that's another reason for that just to be a guest bathroom. Um, Although, if they're not tall, that's not going to be helpful to them either. But oh well. So I really think the plumbing needs to be moved, but like I know he had a struggle with doing that before, so I don't even want to bring it up. Interesting. Anyway, so but that's why I'm a planner, and that's why I like getting, advice from other people, from professionals, as well as other people, but definitely from professionals and also from other people who've done it before, and so on, because when you're in the middle of something, you can't always see clearly, you know. It's like you have myopia or whatever. And so advice from other people can help because sometimes it's just too much to try and figure out on your own. And I feel like that's true of all things. Um, because sometimes you need to consult. I even think there's several actually scriptures in the Bible that talk about that. A good number of them are in Proverbs, so I know that. Um, and that was another thing that my mom, well, when I was growing up, good advice that my mom gave me was reading a proverb every day because there's like 31 of them. So it's almost like there's one for every day of the month. And then in the months like February where there's like 28 or 29 in leap year, and then the other days of the year, they have 30 days. You just, double up or whatever. But yeah, getting advice before you do something, and getting advice that from all sides, all directions, as many as you can find, and then weighing it out, you know. For me, go to the Lord and weigh it out, combination of the human reason that he gave us, and direction from him whenever you can, to do that, because it usually leads to a better outcome. And if you encounter problems along the way, or even if something turns out like, oh, well, we thought about that, but that we did that, but it didn't work, you at least have behind you all the research and whatever that you did beforehand, that one of those things you researched that you ruled out might be the answer. Part of that might be the answer to the problem that arose that you didn't expect when you chose what seemed like the best, and what was the best possible answer or whatever. So it doesn't, nothing's wasted. Nothing's wasted. You know, if you plan and you research, and I mean, there is a point where it can be just too much research. And just stop and you just need to do something. And there's times when it's like that too, when you just have to do it and you don't have time for all that. But when you do have time for that, you should do it. You should make time for it. And I mean, that's how I am. But case in point, I've been researching crayons of all things. And I think I decided don't get any. Maybe I've decided don't get any. Because I've been working with my Crayola crayons, those really old ones are at least 15 years old. And I'm just amazed at how caca they are. And, but I'm also thinking, I need to use them up. I have them, so I need to find ways to use them and to make them work for me. And so I'm getting out what I started working on yesterday as well. Was it yesterday or this morning? It might have been. I can't remember when. Everything's just running together. Like I said, my brain is like really fuzzy. It's a bad place for it to be this time of year with my job, but I've been praying about that too. Lord help me. Okay, so those, because I kept coming across those sparkly colors in the metallics and things like that in the Crayolas. I thought, well, I want to see if they really do like sparkle. And I don't know if you can see that, but they do. Yeah, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's not coming across very well on camera, is it? There we go. We do that. They do sparkle. And so I'm thinking about the possibilities of what I can do with those in other things and in, coloring. And I thought mandalas would be a good place to use them. That's why I started on this one to see. Now I really like how this part looks. I don't like so much how this part looks. And so I'm gonna be playing around with different things to see how I can make them, look nice. Um, but I love this part. And I actually went over this. I used one color in the metallics, and then because the Crayolas, these crayons, I don't know, they were like crumbling and flaking a lot, and then they left. I couldn't get like a clean edge with them, so I used another color that was like a lighter pink, and it didn't seem like it mattered that it was a lighter pink. I just like did that to clean up the edges, and it worked. So so I learned something with that. I don't know if you can see right here, but there's an edge there that's kind of like there were a lot of those in spaces on here, and I cleaned up all the other ones, most of the other ones. That one wasn't as bad as some of the others, so I just kind of left it. But I might clean it up. It depends on whether I decide to use a fine liner marker on all of these to clean up all of the edges entirely. So we'll see. I feel like this is a process for me because I want to figure out how to use up these crayons and get a nice picture. So, um, and then these colors, I don't really like this color, but I started just picking up colors and trying them out, and so I'm just gonna keep going with it because I'm building the image. And we'll just see what happens as we go along. Some things, like I said, I may cover up. I may use fine liner. I may find something else to like just kind of make it look like a complete composition. But I really love this purple part, magenta or whatever it is. I can't even see what the color is on the pen on the crayon, which is really weird. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so I was researching crayons this morning, of all things. Um, yeah, really kind of weird, huh? To buy another set of crayons just to color with crayons, but like, well, I don't know. Maybe that's not so dumb. But I researched them. The hard part was bumping into a lot of art crayon videos and things. But I did find one web page that talked about crayons, and actually somebody who had tested out and put their ratings for each one, which, like, maybe I should share that. I saw that open. And that was really informative. And it was all about crayons, not, not fancy gel crayons or anything. And then I realized, oh, there's a name for these, for, what we know as the regular Crayola crayons. They're just wax crayons, basically. Um, and let's see, do I still have that open, or did I close it because I have way too many pages open on here? Let me take a minute just to look. Check my history. Let's see if I can talk and look at the same time. I don't know if that's possible. What? No, I don't want AI to search through my... Oh, brother. Um, so... Oops, let me use the right keyboard. That would help. There's sometimes when crayons are just like... I don't know. Everything that makes color is a tool, right? When you're making art. At least that's how I see it. Um, so, there's some I can even delete out of this history on the crayons because I've already ruled some out. Um, oh, here we go. She says, she said, I tested the, what's the title of her thing? The winner is from Hip to Save, is her website. Um, and she says, the winner of our crayons quality test may shock you. Spoiler, it wasn't Crayola. And I discovered that the problem I was having, um, it is a Crayola crayon thing. And the funny thing is, I don't think they did this when I was little. So I think the consistency of the crayons have changed. Um, yeah, and the flakiness is a thing. That whole flakiness is definitely a thing, and that was one of the criteria she had in her testing the crayons. Um, she tested how they acted on paper, like were they smooth or were they flaky, um, whether what the pigment was the pigment rich, or was it opaque, or was it kind of translucent? And when I think back to crayons when I was little, the crayons I didn't like, they were always the ones that were really translucent. They didn't have rich color, and I used to be like, this is garbage. And that's why we always went to Crayola, because they were very rich in the pigment. Um, she also looked at the smell of the crayons. Um, she looked at how they were with coloring and sharpening. Were they messy? Like, did they smear? Did they flake? Um, did they break? Um, she has something here about paper coated, which I'm not sure what she means by that. If she means like how much the paper sticks to the crayons, like is it easy to peel it or not? I don't know. What is on there? That's weird. Is it easy to peel it off, or are they like really like so stuck to it that you wind up digging into the crayon? Um, Variety of colors. And then she had on here for this one set, um, rolling away. Do the crayons roll away easily on the desk? Which is something I never thought of, but kind of interesting. Um, yeah, that picture she shows of Crayola, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the problem I'm having. So I felt vindicated, and I felt like affirmed that, oh, this is a thing. This is definitely a thing. Um, yeah, she said here, all of that said, if my testing stopped here between the Crazy Art crayons and the Crayola crayons, which were the first two on the list, she said I'd never buy Crayola again. Besides, for just 40 cents, the price may just trump all the cons I found anyway. Oh, I don't know. That didn't make sense to me in that context. But anyway, um, yeah, and I'm kind of with her. Like, I'll never buy Crayola again. Um, that's how I'm feeling. So, yeah, so she tests a bunch of crayons. There's something she tested, they're called Wonder Sticks. They look like short, um, twisty crayons. And it's a washable crayon that can write on glass. And I don't know when this was. I could look, I suppose. When was this published? I don't know, somewhere between 2011 and 2024. And I think it might have been published. Oh, does it say on the top? Uh, oh no, it says August 2024. Okay, so it was this year. Um, but it looks like those. What are they called again? Um, the Wonder Sticks seem like they're trying. They're more like a gel crayon, which seems to be a big thing too. I'm finding sets of gel crayons like on Amazon and everything that are for kids, even toddlers, and I'm like, what? And they're all like washable and water soluble and all that. So they all seem like they're kind of like that, going the route of the like the Karen Dash art crayons or whatever, Neo Color twos and things like that, which I kind of found intriguing. And I also thought, as a like, if you take care of kids or you're a parent or anything like that, have children in your family that you have come over, that I can see totally the value of having water soluble crayons, because like, okay, my little sister, I think it was before I was born, or it might have been before I was born. Yeah, um, we had furniture that like she had written. She was underneath like the coffee table with the crayons, writing and drawing. And until like we moved when I was 13, I think we still had that same furniture. It was good furniture, but like, yeah, with her scribbles and stuff underneath it, it's pretty funny. But like, you can't do that with a water soluble crayon, or if they do that, you can like get it off without a problem if they write on the walls or whatever. Um, the crayons that she rated the highest were the Bic crayons, which I'm thinking of actually getting. Um, and she said they have excellent pigment, very minimal mess with excess coloring, so it doesn't do the flaking and all that kind of stuff that I was experiencing when I was coloring this page, and it was freaking me out. I was like, oh my gosh. It was freaking me out on the mandala I did too. I started working on yesterday, but less because I knew what to expect. So I just was like, okay, we're dealing with it. We'll figure out how to deal with it. But yeah, it really was blowing my mind when I was working on this one, and I kept complaining through that whole video because I couldn't understand why it was doing that. I never remembered crayons doing that. Oh, maybe it's because we always colored on that newsprint paper or something. I don't know. Um, so anyway, she says of the Bic crayons that they um, don't have paper covers. So there's none of this on there. It's just all crayon. Um, the best, a break resistant design, the best variety of colors, very smooth on paper, true to color, longest and skinniest crayons, great for all ages. They're easy to sharpen and they're inexpensive. Her cons were that they're flimsy storage box, they smell waxy, and they roll away easy. okay. So she said big crayons were the best. Who is she? It's by Sarah. She's a self-taught blogger and photographer. She brings 9+ years of experience to her craft. Her work has been featured in numerous esteemed publications spanning building, travel, and fashion. Beyond her creative pursuits, Sarah's primary mission is to empower others to embrace a toxic-free and sustainable lifestyle. I don't know why I read all that, but I just did. I didn't know what was going to be there, so I just was reading it. I don't know. Hey, Jamie. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. Gobble, gobble. I'm just thinking right now, it's like, ooh, I'm hungry. Anyway. So, yes, I've been in a search for crayons. I actually have some of the big crayons in my Amazon cart. And I'm trying to debate, do I really need to get them or not? I don't know. Because I want to use what I have. So I think part of my mission is to figure out how to use up what I have and how to do that. So I may be doing some research on ways to make crayons more workable for you, so I can like experiment with these ones I have and before getting more. So I've been working on this guy, not with crayons. Off on tangents everywhere. I'm feeling kind of hungry. And I should be because I haven't eaten anything yet today. But yeah, I just started working on this. What was it, last night? Late last night. I guess. Yeah. And working on, I started with this. Then I went to here. I don't know. Everything's kind of a blur. My brain is really not totally with it today. What is that? I can't see it. I need more light. I need more light. I can't tell what that is. Or I need my glasses on. Yeah, so I just started working on this last night. All of a sudden, just turned the page. It's like, oh, I'm going to work on this. I don't know what it is that hit me where suddenly I'm just like going through these pages, but I'm just going to roll with it until it doesn't happen anymore. And I kind of forgot what I was doing anymore. And I kind of forgot what I initially was talking about. Oh, wow. So I took I'm doing a beef rib roast with the bone in. And that's not really going to take that long. And so I'm trying to figure out how to time the other things I do with that. Because I have to start the rib roast at 500 degrees for like 15 minutes. It has to be in there at 500 degrees. And then it has to go down to 350. Or not 350, 330. I think it is. So that's what I'm trying to figure out when I put in the potatoes and the squash. I'm trying to figure out how to time that. I'm just cooking very low key because, I don't feel, I'm not 100% and I really don't feel like doing all that. Didn't even make dessert because I just don't have the energy. I did because I don't make pie crust. I know how to make pie crust, but because we've had so many animals in the house, in the past up until, man, when did we say goodbye to Nigeria? Was it June? It might have been June. So I haven't really, you know, animal hair lingers, right? It does, no matter how much you clean. So, um, I haven't really had a chance to do like a really huge deep clean because we keep doing a remodeling and things. So, um, I don't do pie crust. I don't make pie crust from scratch in this house. I don't. I just don't do it. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Tailor Made. So, I always use Pillsbury pie crust. And I forgot what my point was with that. But I do have pie crust, Pillsbury pie crust in the freezer. But I don't think I have any filling. So I have some apples, but they're not really, not prime apple pie apples. I don't have anything canned, I think. So I'm just not going there because the chances are I'm not going to eat it anyway. So, because I just don't feel like, I don't know, pie. Which is weird for me because I love pie, but the braces thing changes a lot with my eating. I'm just like, oh, don't bother. So there really is no dessert. I don't have the energy for dessert to think anything up. Normally I'd make sweet potato pie, but we're not really having a sweet potato pie kind of dinner. And I didn't go shopping or anything like that because I've been sick. So I actually did Instacart for the first time, I think, in 3 years. And 3 years ago was the first time I did it. And I almost think I didn't even do it for myself, but I did it to buy. Um, I did it to give it a gift card to for my best friend's wife, so she could um, stay with her husband and not have to go out. Well, she really couldn't go out because he was basically on hospice, but on hospice at home. And so I sent her a gift thing for Instacart so she could get whatever they needed and not have to, worry about lots of things, money to pay for it, and a lot of other stuff. So I don't think I ever really had used it myself. So I used it this week, and I forgot why I mentioned that. Oh, pie filling, I think might have been why I was thinking of that. But with having, COVID, it's like, okay, I actually wound up buying from there using the Instacart this week. Let's see. It's really interesting that I'm coloring things I don't know, I'm seeing Kirby pages differently somehow. Because I really, this is not a page I would have wanted to color a few months ago. So I must be growing as a colorist. Um, or maybe or I could be coloring the same way and I just don't care. It might be that too. I don't know what to do with these shacks. Huts. I do feel kind of hungry, but I don't know what to eat. I should probably eat something before, like, dinner. I even don't even think I'm going to eat the dinner, to be honest. When I think of it, I'm probably going to eat the baked potato and the vegetables. Probably not eat very much of the meat at all. The meat will all be for my husband because I don't think I really want it. I don't know. He went out and bought that, like, because somebody else bought it. I guess it was a good price for it, this rib roast. And I looked at it. I'm like, what am I going to do with that? Because he doesn't know what to do with it. I guess he saw a hunk of beef and it's like, ooh, let's get this. Like, okay. So it'll be my first time making it, but it doesn't look like it's really that hard. I'm not really going to put a lot of stuff with it. You know what? I do have carrots, but it doesn't. Um, it's not a long cooked beef. It's a short cooked beef. So, oh, you know what? I don't even think we have any sour cream. Do we have sour cream? Or did I buy sour cream and it's just been in there? I think I did buy sour cream a few weeks ago, and I just never opened it. So, okay. I don't know. I gotta double check now. I don't know. It's hard to order stuff when you're busy and when you're sick. It's like, huh? I don't even remember what I did. I did something. I had something in my mind. I had a little bit of clarity at one moment and did something. Oh, too much going on. Let's see. Yeah, it must be. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, it's like I don't know. So I guess it happens. If you keep coloring, you just get better at it. You do. And just keeping it simple. I don't know. I don't. It's really weird that I don't feel overwhelmed by this page because I can feel how I've felt in the past. Know that like I've seen pages like this and just felt overwhelmed. It's like, oh my gosh, that's not fun. So something's changed in my brain. Something has changed. Just like Mary, when I'm thinking of that Mary makes art. I don't know why my brain is so fuzzy this morning. It is weird things falling out of it. Not Mary who has that nice sweater on um her working board. The sweater that she also crocheted it, but then she did a coloring picture of it. Um, we were talking about the Kirby books, and she's like, I don't like these books. They just don't do anything for me, and I'm getting rid of them. And I can totally understand that because you know how long I've had some of these books and didn't even crack them open. I got them because like people were saying they were the thing or whatever, and then I looked at them and was like, I don't even know what to do with that. And I don't know. And I spent, I did some pages trying to figure it out, and it's like, okay, well, I did like the color blocking thing where you like block out colors on the image, and then I thought, okay, well, that's a way. And I did like a couple pages with that like some of them aren't even finished. But I did a couple pages with that, and it's like, okay, well, I can see that's one way to approach it. It did make it less intimidating, but it was still, it was still tedious, but less tedious because colors were blocked out. Um, Yeah. So I forgot what I was saying. Oh my gosh. Do I want to make this that color too? What was this one? It doesn't look like I have the right color. I don't know what color I had. Is this one? So yeah. So I guess the more you do it, you grow. And that's one reason why I like um, the coloring challenges, like that M Beans Color With Me has, and Proxy Colorist has some, Becca B has some, and I need to like connect more with some of the ones that she's doing because I know she's part of one of them that I have on my list. Oh, the 3 color challenge, which is on my list, and I think I posted that somewhere on somebody's live that's on my list. That's one that I want to do. Um, 3 marker challenge. I think that's what it is. I like how they push your thinking because that's how I got. Is it in this page? That might be what got me started with um, this strange thing that's happening to me now with Kirby pages. That doing that challenge. Now that I think about it, this one. I mean, I looked at every page in this book, and I think I actually said it in a video that's on a live or whatever. That the only pages in this book that I liked was this one, and I didn't like the rest of them. And I didn't even know why I still had this book. And yet, suddenly, I'm busting loose. I started on this one, and I started liking it with doing it for the 1 color challenge. Um, and something about doing that, even though, there's issues I have with this page, but it kind of looks like something, and I feel I'm not finished with it. I feel like there's more I have to do with it, and I'm just, my head's not connecting with it quite, like trying to figure out what am I trying to do and where am I trying to go with it or whatever. I still need to do like the bottom and this part, like cactus and things like that. When I did the background, that really kind of like was like, oh, I don't usually use paint, right? At this time, I wasn't using paint or anything, and I used paint for the first time, so I kind of got flipped me out when I used it, and like I had all these things I had to correct because it just looked really, you know, messy. Um, and Let me get rid of the chat so I can see. I need to see more of the. Just happened. Okay, there we go. And so that kind of made me stop because then I had to correct the way the background looked, and it still looks kind of messy, but I think I can kind of live with it, and I need a better view of it. So then I needed a break from it because I was like, oh my god, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. Wasn't used to using paint, acrylic paint, at all. So there's a lot of firsts with this page for me. But once I did that, and I was like, you know what, I kind of like that. And I don't know, something changed. I started working in the book. I have this book primed with the I think with Daniel Smith watercolor grounds, and so I started with watercolor pencils in here. So I really want to finish it with watercolor pencils, but I'm not ready to go there right now. I'm not in the mood for that. So I started this one the other day, just out of the blue. And I think this is where I was using the Derwent ChromaFlow pencils because they have a smaller diameter. Um, I don't know. I just decided I wanted to use pink and turquoise with a few things of a different color. Um, I don't know what bird this is, and so I want to look up on Google what kind of bird this is so I can figure out how I want to do that. I mean, I've seen pictures of them before, but I don't remember what their name is or anything, if I ever knew. And then I used those Link, LANC, Link Shine gel pens that I love. Because I like that they don't have the tip that most gel pens have. Instead of having that conical tip, they have this kind of tip, and I like these better. It's hard to find in a gel pen, but I've been using mostly the gold one of that, which like, child, I'm gonna run out of that because I keep using that. I love that gold. So I'm trying to keep the color palette limited to just, the pink and gold and turquoise. That's what I'm trying to do. So I started working on this the other night. Out of the blue, all of a sudden just started working on this page. I don't know. And my goal is to finish. Background, I don't know what I'm going to do with the background. Probably not pencil, though. Who knows? I might use watercolor. Especially since I have those ones that I just got, that I saw Foxy Colorist using. Begins with a T. I can't remember the name. They're here on my desk, but like I don't want anything like crashing down or anything because my desk is really crazy. Yes, I just started working on that the other day. I need to do something else. I need to do some work, but I can't. My brain is just like so like fuzzy. I was eyeing this one the other day, but instead I didn't do it. Thinking more about this one. But anyway, like, how did I get on that? I don't even know. I don't know. Yeah, so, more, it's like the book that said I didn't want to color in. All of a sudden, I'm doing, like, all these pages in here, and I'm doing more than I ever did in any other Kirby book. It's like this one. It's like it's 2 pages even. 2 pages and monotonous. Like, what came over me that all of a sudden I decided to color in this? I don't even know. I can't explain it. This is right now is my favorite part of the page for how I did that, which I don't even think I can tell you how I did that. I don't know. Maybe it helped. Maybe like having COVID is helpful for like artistic purposes because I don't know how I did that, but I love how I did that. Yeah, and for these I've been using the Derwent light fast pencils. That's what I've been restricting myself to on these. So I'm pretty sure that's what I've been doing. This one, you know what? Like this isn't finished, but I actually like it with the white like that. I'm leaning towards leaving it that way because I like how that looks. So then I got to do these 2 guys, which, oh yeah, now that I think of it, they're not Sasquatch. They're the abominable snowmen. So I could leave them white. And that kind of takes the stress off. So I just will do some shading and probably use blue and shade and then go over that with white. I have to do in the corner here the rest of the trees. I don't know. So it's interesting. Like something changed in me. Something clicked. And suddenly I'm not afraid of these pages. I don't know if I'll look at them from a year from now and say like, well, that wasn't that much. I don't know. But I'm feeling good about it right now. I have to decide what color to do the sky and what to do the sky with. Almost kind of leaning towards acrylic paint. And then put in, dots for the stars or whatever with acrylic marker, paint marker. I don't know. but I'm really liking this page, and like, there's no way in the world I would have wanted to color this. Like, I didn't want to color this like a year ago or 2 years ago, even. Um, yeah, I don't know what's come over me, but something's changed. I guess I'm growing. So, still pages that I'm not really that fond of that page. This page as I look at it now, but who knows? Tomorrow something might click. So anyway, so how we wound up on this page? Are these connected? They are connected, aren't they? I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe not. It would be good if they're not. They kind of look. They look different. I actually looked online on Amazon today to see if they, what books they had that were in the French version, because I was watching a video where somebody that's in the UK, and they were saying that the weight of the paper on the French version of whatever book they had was thicker than the UK version. I found that interesting, so I went looking to see what was available on Amazon for the UK version, or for the French version of Kirby books, because I'm kind of curious. And I've heard that, like, I don't know, I think for some of the US versions of books, they're on two-sided pages, whereas in some of the foreign versions they're only one-sided. And I thought, I'd rather have one-sided pages personally. So I think I'm going to use the Starjoy Gold just because it's here and it's like the color I want. I think. Oh yeah, the Prismacolor will go over it. So I want to actually put dark brown over this. So I think this must be why I have so much stuff on my desk. I must work with coloring chaos or something. But I really don't like having a messy desk, but just when it comes to being creative, I want to be. But when I want to do anything else, I don't want to be that way. So that kind of clashes. I need a separate space. It's almost like if I could get a small... Oh, that's interesting. If I could get a small art desk, that slants or whatever, to put, that's near all my painting stuff, which is downstairs. I got my big easel down there, all my what do you call it, my roll of canvas and muslin, all that stuff downstairs. But if I could get a small drawing desk there, that would be kind of cool. I kind of like this color. Pencil's hard on my hand though. Hurts. It's like you gotta use effort. But I like the color. I really like the color. I kind of like how it goes down too. It's like really waxy. I wonder how Gamsol would react to a Starjoy Gold pencil. There's something to experiment with. So I added some things to my collab list today. Things I didn't think I was going to be doing. Well, I just added one thing, but in my head, I think there's another one I have to add. Um, and I added the coloring with crayons because I wound up doing that. I was like, oh yeah. Well, I think I had in my head, I was thinking that the collab had to do with crayons and a particular kind of book or something. I don't know. I thought it was in combination with something else or whatever, so I didn't think that picture I did, that PDF of the cornucopia, I didn't think that was, a part of, that it was a part of that um, hashtag. And then when I looked at one of Foxy Colorist's videos today and I saw her hashtag, I was like, oh, that's it. I was like, oh, I guess it does qualify. Well, let me put it there on my the short that I did of the cornucopia. So I apologize if I'm all over the place. I am kind of like woozy in the head today. Um, I don't know. I don't know when that part's gonna go away or why that is. I don't know if it's a COVID thing or if it's just me. I don't know. It's weird. I feel very, I don't know, kind of not with it. I love this color. I guess that's obvious since I'm going over all this stuff again. But I have like a few things in my head with the collabs that I know I want to do. One of which is the 3 marker challenge. I want to do that next year. If I don't get to it this year, I want to do it next year, Lord willing. I really like this color. I'm surprised it's not used up more, even if it is a Starjoy Gold. But I'm putting it over. This is going over Prismacolor, so maybe it's that combination that I'm liking. Is how it feels when it goes on top of that. Because I really like how it feels going on top of that, even though I have to press kind of hard. What time is it? 1:43. I have to go pretty soon so I can start cooking, prepping. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to be tired afterwards. And I got like, my sleep has been so screwy. I got like 4 hours sleep, but I felt awake, so I got up. But then yesterday, I had like 2 naps that were like, I don't know, I think one was 2 hours, one was 4 or so, I don't know, something weird like that. I don't know. And I think I slept normal the night before that. Okay, I want to leave some like white there, some paler over there. Let me stop at that point. I need to finish watching that American Horror episode. The one on the transplant. That was actually getting pretty good. I felt like I need to watch all of this. But I have some PDFs that I got from Etsy, the Etsy stores. Um, I did that. Oh, I went too hard on that. Of cats to do for that collab. I still have my book that I have that has dogs in it. That for the collab with Jamie, I think it is, and is it Pat's Crafting and Coloring? I think. Um, yeah, so I have a few that I want to do, but I also want to finish what I started. But then I keep starting stuff in this book, so it's like I don't know how that's going to happen. I just wondered if me pressing hard is it doing anything to the side. Um, and then I want to start on December 1st to start the Advent coloring. I decided I wanted to do that. I don't know. I've never really, I grew up Presbyterian, but never really celebrated Advent. Um, and I want to do that this year, in part in memory for my friend that died a couple of years ago, died to this world. So we're gonna high five. We're gonna high five in the sky when it comes to that time. I'm telling you, like he was something else. Um, but yeah, so I kind of, it really is feeling like a thing for me this year to observe Advent. So I kind of been prepping for it with that one book that I got, All Is Bright. I've subscribed I've subscribed to two Advent devotionals. One is through, what is it called? Red Letter, um, which is like organization that started by Shane something. Can't remember his last name. Um, oh my gosh, all these names dropping out of my head. And he's associated with this Tony Campolo. He's kind of associated with him. Um, and then also another one for a woman who is a professor at, is it with Harvard Divinity School or something like that? Um, and yeah, so I'm like into two devotionals. I have the All Is Bright coloring book. Um, and I don't know, something came out of me today, and this might be the last thing I do before I leave because I need to like start cooking and things. Um, I actually was just kind of thinking this morning as I was reading and thinking about, I don't even know how it came about. Well, I guess I was thinking about Advent after I was reading the invitation to the Advent devotional from Red Letter, and I thought of this like one, how first there was Elizabeth with John the Baptist who became pregnant with John the Baptist, and then came Mary who was pregnant with Jesus, and how they both had the same experience, and then it was like they didn't know the other one had the experience, and then one day they got together and talked, and it's like, oh, the same thing happened to you, right? And so I was thinking about that, like in a real world circumstance, what that must have been like. um and I started thinking about, well, what would that look like in pictures, you know? And so I started sketching that this morning. And I thought of this. I said one brought to the old, one brought to the new. It's like they both some became pregnant. One of the women was old. The first one, I guess, we found out, like if you read, like, the scripture, like Elizabeth became pregnant with John the Baptist first. Then Mary became pregnant with Jesus. And just, I don't know what that was like for that. I'm thinking of what does that look like in pictures, and I'm not the greatest at, drawing everything. Like, I'm not the greatest. Understatement. But I just have been thinking about that. And what that must have been like. I don't know. So anyway, so I started trying to draw it. Just sketching it. These are sketches, okay? And I'm thinking about drawings maybe of their emotions through the stages of that. Like at first, there was really nothing they could see, but they felt something. Like they had this experience with the angel of the Lord, and then, then it's like, okay, going on about your day. And then maybe feeling a little different because you start feeling a little different when you're pregnant. I haven't been personally, but like I know from, hearing from other people, your body changes, right? And you're starting to feel things. And then the day when suddenly they started to see things, what that must have been like, they're like, whoa, crap. Especially for Mary, because she's like, I ain't done nothing with nobody yet. What the heck is going on? That had to be totally mind blowing. And then for Elizabeth to be so old, she's like, this doesn't happen to women my age, right? Um, so really thinking about that. And I wonder if there's any, there's like, they call it the midrash. You know what? I have a book on that. And it's been sitting on my desk all this time, and like I haven't been doing anything with it. But it has been an important to me book. I knew it was going to be important to me sometime. I have to see. Oh, they won't have anything about that in here, will they? Because it's mostly about the Torah. Hmm. This is the book I'm thinking of, but like this is Old Testament, so there's probably not anything in there about it. But I'm gonna have to see if there is anything um, somewhere about that. I don't know. Weird how that came to me. Weird how that's still on my desk. Anyway, um, and I don't know why I went there. Well, yeah, there wouldn't be any, would there? Shoot, because the midrash is kind of like it's Jewish um writings that are kind of outside of the biblical text of people, rabbis, and thinking outside of what's literally written, in um, like the Talmud or whatever, or I can't remember the Talmud, because the Tanakh is like the first 5 books, and then the Talmud is like the whole Old Testament. So, um, so it's writings outside of what is actually in the Hebrew Bible, and it's rabbis thinking about the context and thinking of real world circumstances and whatever, but very spiritually connected, you know, not just going off on tangents but really being thoughtful about it. And I wonder if there's any writings like that about, for perhaps, I don't know, about New Testament stories. Like they would definitely have to be on the outskirts of of Judaism, because the whole thing with the Jews and the Messiah, who the Messiah is. Um, but I wonder if there's any writings about that. Oh Lord, another research project. I didn't need another research project. But anyway, I'm thinking a lot about this. Um, yeah, I'm thinking a lot about this. Must be something I need to do, because like all the other times I thought about Advent, I thought, yeah, okay, well, whatever. But for some reason this year, it seems like it's a thing I need to meditate on. And so I thought one way that I can meditate on it is by sketching. However bad my sketches might be, that's one way that I can meditate on it. It'll actually push me in my sketching as well. So it's kind of going to be a part of my, um, I guess it's going to be a part of my daily, just kind of meditating on the Lord, meditating on the situation there, and um, hmm. Yeah, wow. Okay, so enough blah blah blah. So this is obviously something I need to think about, and then that I'm going to be doing. So we'll see what happens with that. In the meantime, I need to go start cooking and prepping to cook. So thank you for spending time with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving, and see you around on the YouTube streets later or in between my cooking. Take care. Bye bye.